Alright, welcome back to Pen to Profit. Now we're gonna talk about Facebook ads in this module. On the last module, we talked about YouTube ads. I'll try to keep this one shorter. The last one was a very long module. And the reason for that is because we went through a lot of ads, a lot of principles in this one. I'll run over 3 ads, but they're very quick ads because Facebook ads are usually shorter. And I'm gonna go over 3 of them. And the principles that you learned on the last module pretty much all apply here, so I don't need to go over those same principles again. The idea is the same for you to look at ads, just break them down, see what's the structure behind them, and learn from that structure. But on this specific module, I'm just gonna cover what's different from YouTube to Facebook, because as I said, every single platform has its own characteristics, and you have to adapt to these characteristics. Every once in a while, we do write ads, and we use them both on YouTube and Facebook, but there are differences. And it's important, if you want to have the best performing possible, it's important to consider those differences when you're scripting your ads. So that's basically what I'm gonna run you through now. What are the differences? What I need to change when it comes to YouTube compared to YouTube and Facebook? And yeah, let's run through all of that. And I'm also gonna cover policies here, ad policies, which is something you have to be very aware and have on top of your mind when you're writing copy for Facebook ads. For YouTube, the policies there, they are very broad and they are very non-aggressive. You're hardly ever gonna get ads rejected, and if you do, you're not gonna get your account banned. But on Facebook, very often, if you're not very careful with what you say on your ads are gonna get rejected, and it's very easy to get an ad account banned. And of course, you don't want to write copy for a client or write copy for your employee or for your own business and get that ad rejected and get the account taken down because of you, because that creates a lot of problems, a lot of headaches, a lot of stress, and you want to avoid that from happening. So the one thing that's also very different here on Facebook is the ad policies, and I'm gonna go over that. So with all of that being said, let's jump into this. First thing here, whenever I talk about Facebook ads, I want you to think about Facebook and Instagram at the same time, because all of the ads, they run from Facebook ads, from the Facebook Business Manager, but they run both on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time. So that means Facebook feed, Instagram stories, also Facebook stories, Reels, and there's also something called the Honest Network, but that I don't have to worry about for now. That's more on the media buying side of things. It's just a different placement, but doesn't get used as often. Majority of your budget, 95% of your budget, gets spent on feeds and stories. But you have to be aware of that, because your ad, it has to be story friendly, it has to be feed friendly, and you have to think about that when you're scripting your ads. So let's go over that right now. The ad structure here on Facebook is a little bit different, because again, let's think about the dynamic here. How does it happen? On YouTube, people click on a video, and then before their video, they get served an ad, and they have 5 seconds where they watch your ad, and then they can skip your ad, and then they watch their video, right? So they have to watch at the very least 5 seconds of your ad. On Facebook, it's different. On Facebook, they're scrolling, and they don't have to watch your ad. They don't have to stop scrolling. There's nothing that makes them stop scrolling. On stories, they do watch like 1 or 2 seconds, but again, they can skip very easily. So on Facebook, the dynamic's a little bit different on YouTube. You have less time to grab people's attention. And that's why on YouTube, the main objective you have at first is to get people to watch past the 5-second mark. On Facebook, you want people to stop the scroll and then look at your ad and watch your ad. So that's very important. Also, we have 2 different formats of ads here that you have to consider. There's image ads with a bunch of text, and there's video ads. Majority of the times, video works better, but I'm gonna show some examples of image ads as well. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the ad creatives, although that's not necessarily part of the copywriter's job. It's important for you to understand what makes a good creative, a good image for that ad creative when you're using images instead of videos. And when we're talking about videos here, I'm talking about the script of the videos. I'm talking about writing the copy for the scripts of the videos, because on the videos, on the feeds specifically, you also have the description and the headlines and the call to actions. I'm gonna cover that very quickly, but those are not very important for video ads specifically. So with that being said, again, your first objective on Facebook is to stop the scroll. After that, once you stop the scroll, you have 2 to 3 seconds to hook people into your video, because that's where the biggest drop-off happens. On the typical YouTube video, majority of the drop-off happens on the first 30 seconds of the video, on that 30-second mark, before the 30-second mark. Here on Facebook, majority of the drop-off happens in the first 2 to 3 seconds of the video. So you have to be way more accurate, way more on point with your claims, with your marketing hook there to hook people in and sell the viewership, get them to watch the entire ad. So that's your second goal here. And then the third rule here is that your videos, they have to be fast-paced. As a general rule of thumb, you want all your ads to be a little bit fast-paced. They want to be faster paced than the usual video people see on YouTube. But specifically for Facebook and Instagram ads, it's even more important because the faster the pace is, the more you hook people in with different shots. So now let's jump into my computer and let's run through those ads. I'm just gonna run you through 3 very quick ads. Shouldn't take nearly as much time as the last video. But on those ads, I just want you to pay attention to how fast paced they are and on those little scroll stopping elements that they have. You're gonna see them. So let's do that right now. First things first, I'm here on the Facebook ad library. You can just search for Meta ad library or Facebook ad library on Google. We want to look for weight loss offers or for weight loss ads. I just search for the keyword weight loss. And then all the ads on Facebook that contain the keyword weight loss, they're going to show up here. And when you see an ad over and over and over and over, you know that ad is working pretty well. And those are the ones you want to pay attention to. So I have 3 ones open here. And I want you to pay attention to the stop scrolling elements of them. Let's take a look.
Here's how to get a diet plan that really works.
This is what 10 pounds of fat looks like. If you want to drop this or more, you got to take your metabolism from this to this.
This is almost an exaggerated example of stop scrolling elements and how to stop the scroll, how to hook people into your video, and how important it is to do that on Facebook. But you can see first it has the girl showing her abs, then the guy shirtless holding literally 2 pieces of fat on his hand, and then literally cuts to guy speeding for no reason. It's a very random pattern interrupt side of communication, and they do that because on Facebook and Instagram there are so many distractions that you have to be almost obnoxious with the ways you use to stop the scroll. Again, you don't have to go that far. That works, you can test that, but you don't necessarily need to do that in order for your ads to work. I just wanted to use this one to illustrate an example, so let's take a look.
For anyone out there who doesn't know their metabolic type, stop scrolling for just a second and listen up. All these foods that you don't think you're allowed to eat when following a diet, I'm eating them.
Again, very stop scrolling elements, very dynamic video with very eye-catching visual anchors here. That's very important for Facebook. It's almost as important as everything you're saying on the video. Look at how obnoxious that is. We're trying to look how flashy, how attention grab it is. He's always doing something obnoxious or weird. So people keep engaged during the ad.
But what is the best way to burn fat and get in great shape?
The best way to burn fat and get shredded is not keto, it's not paleo, and it's definitely not super intense exercises.
Like this. Or this.
You can see here they make millions and millions of dollars in that weight loss industry. And we're right on the money right here with the pain points and with the narrative. The problem is the keto diet, the paleo diet, this other diet. That's not the solution. That's what they're selling here. And you can see we did a very good job by uncovering those problems because that's the narrative we came up organically through our exercises, through ChatGPT. And that's exactly the narrative they're using here on a very, very successful business that tests hundreds and hundreds of ads every single month and hundreds different narratives every single month. And it works for them. So we did a very good job in our research.
I've actually had a lot of people just come up to me in person and ask me how to get in shape fast. I actually said, hey, to save you the time, I have this link. It's gonna take you to a free quiz. It's a super simple quiz. You answer 6 questions and it'll basically just tell you exactly how to get in shape fast.
You can hit that link below and take the quiz. We won't ask for your email or anything like that. Click the link below this video right now, take my free body type quiz and get your personalized plan right now.
That's also very good. He's addressing objection most people have when they click something. They already know they're going to have to get your mail or opt in for something and say, you don't need to do that. Just click the link and go for the quiz. Boom. That's it. As simple as that. I just want you to pay attention to how different that is from a YouTube ad. The idea is the same. The principles are the same, but it's just even more fast-paced. It has the stop scrolling elements and the structure at the end of it is the same. It's adapted to different medias, and that is what you have to pay attention to as a copywriter. Now let's take a look at an image ad. For those type of products where all you're trying to do is create desire or create curiosity for something that you're gonna offer them, you're not necessarily selling a product or you're not trying to get people to opt into something or register to something, you're just creating curiosity, and then on the page you're gonna kill the curiosity, you're gonna fill the gap of information people have in their heads. When that's the case, when you're just selling curiosity here, you don't necessarily need a video. All you need is attention grab an image, a scroll stop an image like that, and then a very quick call to action and very, very simple copy. You can see here, copy is very short. When it comes to the headline, when you write a headline for the ad inside Facebook ads, and I like to keep the headline short. You can have 2 lines here, but I like to keep it 1 because when you keep it 1, you can have the sub headline here, this description, where you have more space to write. And I think it just looks better that way. And if you use a headline that's 2 lines long, you're not gonna have this. This is not gonna show up the sub headline. So that's why I like to keep it short. But basically super, super simple image ads. Those work very, very well. Finally, let's just take a look at this last video here.
Hey, if your goal is to get in better shape in 2022, then stop scrolling and listen to me. The gyms right now are crazy busy. This is always expected because people think that in order to get in shape, they have to go to the gym for 45 minutes to an hour and sit on the cardio machine and run on the treadmill. And then they have to go home and they have to make a bunch of salads and they have to cut out carbs completely. And that's how you lose weight. That ain't how you lose weight.
If you can play to the laziness side of things, it always worked extremely well. Saying that people don't have to do the work in order to achieve the result they want always works extremely well. Of course, you can only do that when that's true, when you can actually get the result without having to do the work. You can only use that on those scenarios, but when that's the case, that works extremely well.
How you lose weight is by doing something that works and is sustainable. Because if you lose 10 pounds in January and then you gain it back in February, what was the point?
Here he's creating this conflict, this scenario of duality. It doesn't matter if you lose weight, if you gain everything back. Are you losing weight and then gaining everything back? If that's the case, that doesn't make any sense. Creating the conflict, creating the narrative inside people's head, the story inside people's head.
I want to show you a way to eat the foods that you actually like eating, spend less than 20 minutes per day working out, and you can do this from home, so you don't even have to go to the busy gym. Make this a lifestyle. I want to show you my free body type quiz, a free quiz. It's 6 questions, and at the end of it, I will tell you the 3 most important things for you to do at the gym and in the kitchen so that you can get real results this year. So click that link below right now, stop wasting time, and let's do this the right way.
And here on Facebook, you can see that you don't need to have those longer call to actions. Why? Because on Facebook, there's not gonna be a video that plays after your ad ends. Even if you're on stories, the stories just end with a call to action and stays there. It doesn't go to the next story. So you don't need to worry so much about giving people the time to click because Facebook takes care of that. It doesn't just play a video afterwards when the ad ends. It just leaves the ad there and you have to scroll all of it. So it's not something that happens automatically. People have to manually take an action to stop seeing your ad. So as a result of that, that different dynamic of the platform, you don't necessarily need to have longer call to actions. And in fact, you're encouraged not to have, because the longer the call to action is, the lower the retention of your video is going to be, because the second biggest drop off after the first 2-3 seconds is at the very end when people stop watching because they think the video is about to end, so they start watching beforehand. So if you drag the video out too long, your retention is worse. On YouTube, that doesn't matter. On Facebook, that matters a lot. Your CPMs get cheaper if your retention is better, if people watch the video on its entirety. If you're, let's say the retention, the average retention of your video is 60, is way better. Your CPMs are going to be cheaper than if they are 30%. That's why you don't want to drag out the videos, the CTAs on Facebook, while you want to drag them out on YouTube. So 2 very different dynamics here that you have to be aware of when you're writing your ads. That's pretty much it when it comes to the ads. Those are the main differences. And then the only other thing I want to cover here is ad policies. On Facebook, you have to be very, very careful. I recommend you read all the ad policies. So whenever you're advertising something for weight loss, for example, very, very easy for your ads, for your copy to trigger the review process and get your ads rejected and shut down. And just a few ads rejected can lead to a account shutdown, which again, are super, super stressful to deal with. I was a media buyer for a lot of time, and I know how stressful that is. I used to deal with that on a daily basis, and you don't want to cause your client to experience that. He's gonna be very pissed with you if your copy gets the ad account down. So you better read the policies and know that for niches like weight loss, just using the keywords weight loss is already a very big red flag and can and most likely will get your ads shut down. Same for anything related to making money. Any money claims are gonna get your ads shut down. If you're addressing people based on any personal attribute, your ads are gonna get rejected. If you're saying, oh, you're experiencing back pain, your ads are gonna get rejected. If you're saying, oh, you're feeling like you gain weight, your ads are gonna get rejected. You cannot speak as directly to the customer on Facebook as you can on YouTube. Why this guy can? Because he's spending millions and millions of dollars, so he can get away with it. He has a contact or multiple contacts inside of Facebook that approve the ads for him, but you only get access to that when you spend a lot of money. We spend a lot of money when we don't have a very good contact inside. We have a little bit of access, but it's very shitty. And Facebook just doesn't care about advertisers. They just shut down your ad account and they don't give any help. It's very stressful. Here, you want to stray away from any health-related claim. You don't want to address people based on personal attributes. You don't want to have results-based claim. And the way you want to think about it is, okay, is this a claim that will apply to every single person that watches my video or click on my ad, or for every single person that reads my ad? If I say, if you do this, you're going to lose weight, is that going to apply to every single person that reads this ad? No. If that's the case, Facebook considers that as a misleading claim and they're going to get your ad account shut. And that's why I consider it to be harder to run ads on Facebook, because you don't have those elements that you can play with, and those are the most powerful elements. It goes back to the abstraction point of things. Here on Facebook, sometimes you want to take use of abstractions. You want to be abstract with your communication because you are not allowed to be concrete. Saying that people are going to get paid $10,432 every single month, because that's going to get your ad account shut. You have to talk about the thing without mentioning the thing. So for example, a very big black hat niche is anything sexual, like sexual enhancing drugs, sexual enhancing pills. They talk about that using analogies, both with visual analogies, like using a banana, for example, or even your copy using analogies like when the rubber meets the skin. That's a good analogy referring to sexual moments. And that's a very, very big thing on Facebook and makes a lot of money on that type of niche. Sometimes you're gonna write for clients on that niche. So you have to know how to navigate the scenarios and avoid the obstacles by talking about the thing using analogies and visual analogies without actually mentioning the thing. But again, be very aware about the policies. And other than that, the structures and the principles are the same than YouTube. So that's pretty much it for the Facebook ads module here. Thank you so much.